out there. You're welcome to this week of Hackmaster. We're down Chrissy Joe and Lunella, but we've regained lessons this week. He managed to get his computer all fixed up and running, so he's got a cool new computer now.
Mm-hmm.
So the last three folks, so at least Theta, Dennis, and Griffin, you were all here for the last session, and so you know everything that happened last session. But for lessons, a little catch up. You had arrived in the new town of Faffin, and they had all they had asked some they'd asked some questions. They had done a little bit of investigation. They had looked around and kind of seen if the Lord needed anything. And Dennis had uncovered Dennis's character Eric had found a rumor of someone with a treasure map. And you fast forward a little bit later, after some interesting actions, they managed to get a hold of that treasure map. Setting that aside for a little bit, they all went to go investigate the site of the burial site, I guess I'll call it, or the burrows, and they had found it to be filled with traps. A large spear had hit Eric in the gut, and then a tunnel had partially collapsed, and even a brick had fallen from the ceiling when you opened the last sarcophagus. Finn had been extremely hurt. She was down to 1 hit point, and so since she's not here, we'll just say she limps out of there. Since Orbal Kell wasn't there originally, or at least in the burrows, we'll say that he was kind of on the lookout, maybe keeping an eye out, similar to the last time when Finn was injured and was just watching the entrance. So that's where we can re-add Orbal Kill is right outside the entrance. Meanwhile, in the second chamber, Eric and Werlin and Karamikos had just discovered not only one false bottom in a sarcophagus, but a second false bottom in a sarcophagus. Do you remember what the first two had inside them?
It'd been a bit. I think the answer is no. I don't remember. What about you guys? I think there was a sword somewhere.
There's a hilt, right? Wasn't the hilt of a sword?
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other thing? Well, an axe head, right? But I don't know if
that was in the first one.
That was in the first one. The axe head was.
Yep. In the first two, there were just corpses, and their armor had started all rusting away, and the only thing that was left was some bronze and jade and jet finishing and decorations that had withstand the tale of time. So you guys finally find this third I guess the third level, and Eric completely blows his feat of strength out of the water and manages to succeed in lifting this third layer. And so you heave it out, and it's a little bit difficult to get down there because you're already 2 sarcophaguses down, and you lift it up and out of the way. The bones that are there kind of just slide along the slat they're on, and below you see a very interesting sight. Unlike the first 2 skeletons, you're still seeing a skeleton, but in this case, the armor and the weapons have not degraded with time. And you see what looks like a fine set of a bronze helmet and a fine set of what looks like scale mail. And with arms crossed, you see a fine sword. This one, its hilt looks just as decorated as the last one you found in the first level, but already you can see that the blade, still in a rather nice sheath, is untarnished with rust and appears to be all intact. After you open it, nothing moves.
Are there any tripwires or?
That's That's a good question. Would one of you like to? You can either do a scrutiny check, or I can roll a identify trap for Griff.
Well, I do have a higher screw. Wait, nope. Identify trap is higher by 2 points. It's at 9.
I got 6, so
Gotta dump like 5 skill ups into that if I live.
So you gonna roll, or do you want me to roll?
I think Eli said he was gonna roll it, so I'm gonna wait
yeah.
and I'm gonna see what he says, and if or not, whirling dice this time.
I'm trying. What the heck?
Finally! There's something wrong with his dice bot.
I totally thought I worked out all these troubles, but no. What is?
If we could see his computer, we would see the cheat right there.
How is this not a natural 20? I'm so confused.
I knew it!
Right.
Vindicated, finally.
What the heck? It's not rolling anything for me.
Ah, it worked.
Like at all. I'm in Chrome. Let me see. Just testing out something that I know should work. Nope. Can one of you guys try an attack roll or something like that? I want to see if something will actually pop up in the chat.
Well, I'm glad I wasted that.
There's one for me too. Oh, mine just disappeared.
Yeah.
Yours work.
Mine worked?
Well, no, I'm sorry. Theta's worked. Oh, wait, mine worked too.
Yeah,
you rolled a D6, right?
I was
Not
expecting the
being
cool green text from a critical hit on mine.
I'm not seeing any of that.
You roll 4.
Really? You're just not even seeing the rolls? Wow.
No, I'm not seeing a single thing.
Wow. Well, it wouldn't be
Chrome.
It wouldn't be a
It looks
stream
like you're
game
out.
without issues.
I know. I
Looks like
just left, and now I'm hopping back in. Oh nope, no. The last thing I see is Eric the Barbarian attempts a feat of strength.
That's weird. There's a D10 roll.
Huh.
You're not looking at the history, are you?
No, but I just cleared the chat. Let's see if. Huh? What? I am so confused.
Again, you're not looking at the history, are you?
No, I've scrolled all the way down.
No, I mean, there's a chat history tab, and then there's
No, I don't have it in an extra tab or anything like that.
Is it plugged in? Are you currently connected to the internet?
I mean, I'm fairly certain I'm still connected to the internet.
I don't know. Evidence is suggesting to the contrary.
Yeah, I've got.
Have you turned it on?
I'm in
and off?
Chrome. Yeah, let me try Firefox.
I mean, I'm in Chrome right now, and it's working perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
you're not using something weird like Opera, right?
No, I'm not Griffin.
It's broadcasting too on the channel, so
yeah.
Yeah, which means it's going through. I don't know why I can't see the chat.
I guess we're just gonna have to tell you what the rules are.
nice.
You trust us, right? In this game about incredibly deadly consequence.
All right, so it's time to pull out the yellow dice.
No.
Looks like the cheap bot finally got.
Wow, a
Something.
20.
Well, no, now the
I
cheat
show
bot
you,
is
but
in.
my camera is
Not in
but my
Firefox.
camera's just screwed in.
The cheat bot's in full effect now because he can just say whatever he wants.
Ooh, not that roll. Nope, don't like that roll. Okay, that roll I like.
Need to pull out your phone
Oh
and
yeah,
have your phone just
totally.
mounted to a thing.
Totally hit you with a 29. Yes, yeah. So.
Well, the thing is, like for all the public rolls, everyone can you guys can all see it, and so you can tell me. But I can't do all the secret rolls.
Well, all your rolls are now secret, apparently. If you're rolling your dice.
Well, they're secret. They're secret to me. You guys could just do an attack roll, and then you guys are like,
The
that
beauty
was
of the system
Oh,
is
okay.
that with exploding dice, he literally just can make up a number, any number at all. I just exploded 17 times. It's weird. I didn't just forget what number I was trying to think of.
That's awesome.
All right, let's see if Firefox is just a little bit better. But you're Werlin, you're investigating for traps, and you
That's
have
right.
you have to clamber in just a little bit, and you're looking around the inside of the sarcophagus, and you notice something unusual. In the first two, the walls are completely, excuse me. When you're looking at the walls of the first three sarcophaguses, you're noticing that there's detailing done into the very stone itself. And at first, you're just looking at it and you're like, "Oh, uh, this looks like some sort of, it looks nice. It's just some sort of
Mhm.
geometric shapes." And then you notice there's a different pattern, and then with the first three patterns, or with the first two, and then finally the third, you're looking at it and you're realizing that those patterns look remarkably similar to the circles that you found around that creature in the first burrow near. Uh, I can actually just pull up this picture. The lines around it look very similar to the lines that were around that creature, and the runes that are carved into the sarcophagus walls look similar to those runes.
Okay.
That's the first thing you notice. The second thing you notice is as you're looking in, you notice what looks like a thin metal chain that's attached to the back side of the sword that's resting on the in the sarcophagus's hands,
Mhm.
that looks to lead down through the armor and then somewhere down below the body. You'd have to, move
Right,
the
so it's
body
like
to see
holding it in
where
his
it went.
chest, but it's downwards at an angle going through him.
Yeah,
Okay.
or at least where the string is. The string looks like that.
Okay. So, there's a string to it. Well
Yeah,
then,
so the sword is like downward, like in repose on his chest, and then there's this. So if the sword is like this, and he's laying here, the string goes from the bottom of the sword through his chest, and then into the bottom of the sarcophagus. Or it
interesting.
it definitely gives your spidey senses or your trap senses a tingle. You don't quite know like what it'll do, but you do believe it's a trap.
I do have a good feeling about what this is going to do, and I'm going to call up. Well, I think this is. Look here. This is like one of the magic circles from before.
So we
I think
don't.
this is the.
Firefox is no good.
Yeah, I think this is one of the bodies being protected. This is the source of the unease. But it's wired up. I feel that if we remove the circle this time and the body vanishes, it intends to trigger something. I just can't tell what's here.
So what do you want to? What do you want me to do?
I don't know. I think the first thing I want to do is not be at the bottom of this, especially if we start messing with it.
Anybody have
So,
any string? Rope?
You now remember all of last session where all we did was ask about rope? Or how about the session before that where all we did was ask about rope? Or the
I have a
session
lot of
before that?
I have a lot
I
of
guess
senior
this-
moments. So
Nobody bought rope, and it.
Nope, we
Keep
went back
one
to
side.
town, did not buy rope. We traveled to a different town, did not buy rope.
It's a rope rope shortage.
Wait, a shopping interlude. Did not buy rope.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Just checking.
I guess while I'm down there, though, the question is how much space was down there for me? I could just like stand there and it's perfectly fine.
Inside the sarcophagus, well, it goes down into the ground a decent distance. It's enough space lengthwise for a body to be reposed. The body's probably around, five something. So maybe it's about 6 feet long, and there was enough room for 3 different sarcophaguses. So you're probably about. Let me see if you're probably maybe 6 feet down if you're standing on the bottom of the third, I guess the third level.
Okay. So I think at the very least, if we're going to do what we're here to do, or do the thing that seemed to work last time, we need to prop this sword up somehow.
And Orbital, you can enter at any point in time. You've probably just seen Finn limp out and bloodied and covered in bruises and more wounds than when she first went in.
Yeah, they probably give you a bit of the lowdown.
Yeah, I tagged in. And
I'm in.
Yeah.
You don't have any rope, do you? Orbital?
Nope. I was complaining about other people not having rope because I didn't buy any rope.
Does anybody have like? Go ahead.
Longbows, quarry. No, I have a knife.
Yeah.
Not
Anybody
a
have
wife, but a knife. Yeah.
Anybody
So,
have a
right.
long pole?
He just goes in.
All right. You can go through the first chamber is mostly empty. You have to crawl through these narrow tunnels, and you're into the third chamber, where it looks like everyone's hurt.
Oh, I guess I missed the party.
I mean, I'm
Well,
not
if you can
hurt.
call Tome robbing a party.
I'm not hurt. I'm exactly as I was when I came here.
That's true. You were pre-hurt.
I'm pretty hurt.
No, you're ugly hurt.
So what would you like to do?
I think we should leave this alone.
Well, it is a source of this feeling you feel. You feel it, right? Eli, do you want to describe that?
Yeah, so inside this room you have this strange feeling that there's these emotions that are it's like your emotions are being bombarded with fear and trapping and maybe a little bit of anger, and it feels like it's bombarding and pressing down on all of you, except it's muted. It's like there's distortion, or it's a long ways away, but it feels like it's coming from this room.
Right.
It's like the same thing that we had before with the other thing, with the glowy thing.
Yes.
That's right.
Previously, it felt you had that same feeling, but there wasn't any of that distance or doling, if that makes any sense. It just felt like it was unleashed on you.
Well, I guess burying it worked last time, but I don't know how we're going to do that here.
Well, last time, I don't think it actually got buried. I think once the seal was broken, it disappeared.
Yes, no. Burying thing underneath mounds of dirt did not actually bury it. Yes, is this what you're saying, moron?
That's right. It disappeared before the dirt even touched it.
Of course. Yes, this must be it.
So if we were to disturb this as well, and it were to disappear, this sword will drop and activate whatever it's connected to by the string. I could attempt to disable it, but there's no telling how that'll go. Actually, that's a good point. I've been sitting here trying to think of like a clever ploy to like keep it from disarming. I have the disarm trap skill.
Just a moment.
Yeah, do it.
How about I go ahead and try that out, Eli? I will go ahead and attempt to disarm the trap to save the loot.
All right. So you reach down in there and you pull out your. Do you have any daggers or any small knives or anything like that?
I got plenty of those.
All right. So what you believe will disarm the trap? You believe that the trap is activated by if you take the sword, then it'll pull the chain, and then whatever happens happens. So you believe that the best way to disable this trap is to carefully cut away the chain.
Okay.
And so what sort of do you have any sort of tools on you?
I don't think there was like generic like thieves tools or disarm tools, were there?
There isn't, but if you happen to have like right now you have a knife or a dagger,
Yeah,
and
I still have a
using
dagger.
that, yeah, using that will be somewhat effective. But if you had like a pair of
Scissors or something.
like a pair of pinchers or scissors, then that would be more effective. And so
Mhm.
you're going to use uh, your dagger to try to cut it, and this is an average check to cut this chain. So
Okay.
you can roll.
I will hit the button. And today we have... That might work.
All right, just within because you needed to get under a 67, and you got a
Yeah.
62. So you lean in there, you kind of clamber down, and you use your sword, and you slash up you slash the chain, and it looks nothing has happened.
Well, the sword's no longer attached to it, so I can go ahead and take the sword, and I'm just gonna hold it up and just pass it straight up to Eric.
What do you shout when you do that? When you
Shout.
hold the sword aloft in the air.
I
Free
have the
loot for
power.
ya!
I have.
By the power of Grayskull.
Oh.
Ah, gosh, it killed me because of an elf. Oh, no.
Do you have any? Let's see, what languages do you speak? Oh, nope, never mind.
Quite
Does
a lot.
What languages can people read in?
We know read.
A little bit fewer. High Elven, Low Elven, and Merchant.
All right, so you just pass up the sword. Then it doesn't sound. No one. You notice there is some writing on the what looks like the hilt or or not the hilt, the scabbard itself, but none of you can read it.
It's probably more Deji, right?
It looks like Dej,
Okay.
To be fair, my ability to read is slightly hindered.
somewhat hindered. It does not look like it's in Braille, unfortunately. Damn it!
I mean,
What would you like to do? You've lifted out the sword and passed it up.
Well, there's the loot. I don't think I can take off all the chainmail on this. It's protected.
hand the body up.
There's ruins around the body, right?
Right.
Yeah, there's
ruins
runes
in
around-
the ruins.
There's
Don't we
runes
have-
on the sarcophagus.
Don't we have
Symbols.
to destroy it? What are we going to hand it up for?
Better armor than what you're wearing.
True.
I guess that would be a reasonable question. If I put my hand out and I try to
Shit.
take off the chainmail, or does anything actually stop me?
Uh, Yeah, I mean, you can just lift up the body and start moving it around. You see the chain then feeds through. Like if you start moving the body, and it looks like the chain feeds through the bottom of the sarcophagus and through a small hole and down below.
Ooh.
Not the body, Whirlin, just the male.
Well, I mean, I have to move the body to take it off. This trap
Oh.
goes pretty deep. Wow. They really prepared ahead of time.
As you
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
do
So
with
you can
traps.
Mhm.
you can take it all apart, and you have a set of scale mail with a bronze helm.
Sweet.
All right, and I'll go ahead and hand it up too. And this time, like by the power of Skeletor. No.
Oh,
Yeah, but up it goes, and well, that's good. And now we just have the skeleton here, and all this magical writing. I guess I could take a look at it to make sure that it's the exact same as before, and there's not like an extra trick somewhere in here.
Yeah.
So I'll just hit some arcane lore.
Yeah, you're looking at the runes, and they actually appear almost aside from the spots that are now visible. When you saw the first three circles, you some of them were covered up with mud and water, and so
Mhm.
they were kind of obscured. And so now that you're looking at it, they look to be a complete set of three rune circles.
Okay.
What does it say?
Well, it doesn't quite say anything as much as it is something, but these are very much the same as before. There's no bubble like last time, but well, it's doing what it's doing here. I guess I should break them though, like we did last time.
Is there
Uh,
anything below?
Well, there's this chain here, and whatever mechanism it goes down into, I could probably push my hand into it, but that doesn't seem wise.
No, is there another trap door? Is there something underneath?
If there's a trapdoor below this one, I'm just going to be angry and leave. I'm not going to find out. They've tried to bamboozle
Poltane
us
is just like
twice.
just pulls up a trapdoor. I tell you,
Uh,
open the next door.
I guess that's a fair, reasonable question, though. If I just like take a peek, like it's just mechanisms down there, like not like anything special.
Oh, to like looking down the little hole where the
Mhm.
chain went.
Oh, it's even smaller than I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little hole where the just big enough for the chain to fit down. It looks like it goes down maybe a foot or two, and then it's attached to some sort of mechanism. And it's hard to tell with just a little view, and with you have to get the light just perfectly, and it's hard to
Yeah.
tell what it actually is down there.
I think we're safe this time.
All right.
Well, I suppose I'll do the honors. Karamikos did last time. And I will go ahead and try scratching out a little bit of it or breaking a little bit of the side.
What
Maybe just
I mean, this is stone. So what are you going to use to scrape away these runes or try to break them?
well, I got my dagger, so I can just sort of like pommel strike at it and see if I make a dent.
All right. You start cracking at it, and I mean it. Are you going to start? Are you going to start on any one of the particular circles, or are you starting? Is it just anywhere?
I think like we saw back at the other one, I'm gonna start at the outermost and work inward.
All right, it's time consuming. You're smashing at these. It takes a decent amount of time before you can finally like smash one of the runes enough that it cracks and breaks.
Mhm.
And as soon as that happens, you feel that the kind of shielding of that barrage of emotions start to peel away, and each one of you gets staggered, and you might even take a step over, have to put your hand against the wall to stop yourself from falling over. as the weight of these emotions start to fall on you. There are 2 more levels.
Keramikos,
What is it, Moron?
you have your pickaxe on you, don't you?
Never had a pickaxe
How did you dig out everything?
with my hands.
We got questions. Shovel-like hands. All right, so Keramikos doesn't have a pick or tools or anything. So I guess I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna try doing the second one. Fear is an illusion. Pain is the mind killer. Wait,
Well,
no, that's not how it goes.
While he's doing that, does it
Okay.
look like the armor will fit me?
The armor looks like it was made for a human.
Uh-huh.
So at the moment, any human could fit it, but if
It could
someone
half fit
else,
you.
another race, it could half fit you. It's a you wear them as pants or a shirt.
Unfortunately, you didn't tell us about your centaur lower half, which is completely non-human.
And so, in order to get it to fit you, you just have to resize it.
Okay. What about the sword? Can I unsheath the sword?
Yeah, you unsheath the sword. It's got an older style pommel and layout than what you're used to, but it looks like a broadsword.
Then it has
looks
good
like
weight
this.
and nothing's happening to me while I'm holding the damn thing.
It seems to have a good swing, a good. It seems nice.
I want to remind you, Dennis, your last character that found a special sword immediately died.
It was the. Did he? I thought it
Yeah.
was the helm. I put the helm on.
Yeah.
No, remember you had a +1 sword that Griff
did,
and I had
yeah.
an argument about going back
That's
to
right.
dig up.
That's right. That was that Gnome Titan.
Yeah, and he died immediately after getting it.
Yeah, Connor. Yeah.
Also, you can't wear the helmet? What is your head too small?
I didn't try it on yet. I'm being cautious here while you guys are digging.
Are we
Wait,
digging?
your caution is just putting it on and trying it?
Yeah, I'm just looking at it right now. I'm like, ooh, what's that look like?
I mean, in my defense, everyone has shovel hands. Literally, you just put your fingers together and, I don't know what your point is here.
You got to have the mining skill, though.
Yeah, we had to have the mining skill to set up the wood support beams to be able to tear it all down.
You need the mining skill to be able to do this. I just don't know how to make.
I feel like I'm in a
hands.
world where everyone's just on LSD all the time. Like, I can't figure it out.
Every time I try to do it, this is what happens to me. I'm like, that's not gonna work.
I keep getting my fingers stuck on rocks.
Ah!
That's not shovel hands, that's crab hands.
Spirit fingers.
So it's going to take at least another two hours or 3 hours. You're going to have to take some breaks after just smashing at this and get some water, eat some food. But it's slowly but surely doing the trick. And I mean, it's everyone just kind of waiting around in this room while Whirlin's smashing stuff with his dagger over and over.
Well, yeah, and I'm gonna try on the helm too while I'm at it.
The helm actually fits kind of decently.
Can I take it off?
Yeah.
Great. Fantastic.
Nah, before you put it on, Whirlin put super glue on the top of the helm.
Curse of Helmet Head.
No.
The eagle helm I couldn't take off. I couldn't get that off my head.
That's very true.
Yeah, so.
Well, that's easy to solve. Where's my axe?
I keep my solvent in my axe.
It's got this utility box at the bottom. It's really nice. It just unscrews. It's where I keep a compass and a granola bar for later.
And this thing which tells time.
A portable sundial.
after a little bit of time, you've managed to break through the second level, and everyone else, once again, the barrage continues, and this makes the last level the hardest to do, as every moment is a struggle, and finally you manage to smash it sufficiently, and everyone make a listening check.
Uh,
Opposed or just default?
Just a regular old listening check.
I wonder if Karamikos will make it.
I
I
didn't.
mean, it's always possible that I might not.
That's very true.
Could be an extremely difficult check.
Eric, Karamikos, and Werlin, you three are standing there, kind of just waiting for this Werlin to finish, and well, I guess Werlin, you're waiting to finish destroying this, and you finally do, and there's a moment of kind of peaceful clarity, and then you hear a sound that sounds similar to a flint and steel or a fire starting.
Uh-oh. I'm going to try to scramble out of this as quickly as I can.
Yeah. You. It just takes a few moments to pull yourself out of this little pit, and one of the others can help you out, and nothing appears to have changed in this room. You're not feeling any heat from anything. It's nothing.
Probably best if we get out as quickly as we can at this point. And I'll take a look back down at the skeleton. I broke all the seals. It's still there?
The skeleton is still there, yeah.
What's the feeling in the room now?
There's no weird other feeling. There's no other emotions. You're feeling whatever your character is personally feeling.
I imagine if you have to ask that question, the feeling in the room is confusion? Maybe a sense of disorientation towards your goals, or...
The room is apathetic to your trail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with Werlin. Let's make our way out of here.
Yeah. Something feels wrong, but I say go ahead and pull the cover back upon the sarcophagus, and then we'll make our leave.
All right, that takes a moment to pull it back over.
So wait, we hear this noise and we are abandoning ship? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. Or at
Well, do
least
you
I
hear
have a really
anything
bad
else?
feeling about this.
Where are we going? What's going on? Ooh.
I'm just asking as an out of character. You heard this noise and you're like, fuck it, let's get out? Because no other thing could happen?
It's going to try to kill us. Everything else has tried.
You don't even know what it is.
You're the one with echolocation. You don't hear anything else?
Anything else? You think I can hear through...
I don't know. He could whisper to you what what. You hear anything else?
Well, that doesn't seem to be happening, so...
Well, in either case, our job is done anyway, so,
Do you plan to stay in this town for very much longer?
No, not really.
Okay, then I guess if we end up killing everybody by this, then it does not matter.
Well, what do you think? What do you think we should do?
I think if you uncover a threat, dig it up, then hear it approaching, and then run away like a coward, then prepared for a consequence.
It's just flint and steel. Could mean anything.
Yes, could be anything. Could just
Could be a fire
echo.
starting.
Could be echo. You are digging a throw, breaking stone, stone break, echo, cave, maybe cavern uncovered.
Just backing away.
Running away from own echo. Very, very, strong man.
It does seem like it's been a minute, though, and nothing's happened.
It has been a minute. Can everyone else make listening checks for me? Or not everyone else. Can everyone make listening checks again for me?
Oh man.
Look, I watched a rain of fire.
So, Karamikos and Whirlin, you two, maybe it's because you're near this this second, this tunnel entrance, or maybe you're just more astute. You hear what sounds like a fire starting in the previous room, and the
Oh.
crackle of fire.
For my benefit, though, could you like imitate what that sounds like? Okay, that
Something like
sounds
that.
more like World War II as seen through a Rammstein concert. Yeah, the fact that people are saying the word fire.
That's the
Did
fire
somebody say
saying
fire?
fire.
Oh, it's a living fire. Okay. When fire stalks, I run. That's
And we don't exactly see it down this tunnel, right?
Well, you look down that tunnel and you're certainly seeing a bit more light in that room than when you had left it. There seems to be a dull orange glow rising in that room.
Well, that doesn't look good. I guess we can't leave then.
Well, let's see what it is first.
It's a fire.
Not necessarily.
I mean, does it cover the whole thing or just don't? I mean, if it's not like a hole of fire, we should get out before it actually covers the whole thing.
Alright.
Well, if you want to check with your face.
I do like how
I'll make my way.
you're rationally having the discussion about it. We should get out of here before it completely fills with fire. Meanwhile, raging inferno, possibly.
Is there anything in the hallway when I start down that little?
Nothing in that little hallway. No.
What about in the room?
In this room here.
Yeah, as I make my way. Yeah.
If memory serves, also remember you're crawling through a space. You're not like
Yeah.
walking down a hallway.
Mm-hmm.
That is correct. So you start crawling through this tunnel, and as you get farther and farther down the tunnel, you can start to feel more and more heat. And reaching the end of the tunnel, the entire floor of the first chamber is on fire.
So,
Would you say possibly that the floor is lava?
One might say that the floor is lava.
Okay. So
No
it's
worries,
the first
guys.
room.
We've prepared our whole childhoods for this.
The first room or the room that I'm crawling into?
The room
Yes.
that you're crawling into
Okay.
is
I want to.
completely on fire.
All right. I want to back up and say, nope, we're not going that way. We got to find another way out.
Yeah, because again, you're crawling through a tunnel. There's no like run jump things you're going to be able to do here.
Right. What about the smoke? Is smoke filling the crawl space or?
The smoke, it seems to be rising into that first chamber, and then it doesn't seem to be going into this tunnel. It seems to have some exit.
Just want to throw this out there. Remember, our last defense is to just disbelieve. There is no fire. It's an illusion.
What fire?
Well, go right ahead there,
Fire
Karmikos.
was in your
Karamikos.
mind.
Look, when you're as disfigured as I am, you can't get any worse.
I mean, you can die.
That's not worse.
Well, I mean, would burning alive be worse than your current disfigurement?
Some would argue no.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know what would be
I've
worse.
had worse.
Well, once you're back here, Eric, I'm gonna suggest you take the stone door that fell off, and we prop it back up into place, specifically just to try to keep smoke from pouring into here.
Oh, won't we we
The
suffocate?
sarcophagus lid.
Eventually, but I'm hoping that there's a way out, and it's in one of these cubbies here. We have all of these that we can pull out and try to see if there's a alternative way out.
What about the one with the trap? Maybe there's an entrance. They had to set the trap, so maybe they set the trap from inside, and there's a tunnel from behind the trap.
You think so?
I don't know. Doesn't that make sense?
Well, I'll go down there and search, and you can search up here then.
It's an
So
Alright, you're
idea.
gonna try to search in the bottom of the sarcophagus, and then so give me a scrutiny check down there.
Oh,
So
hey.
you're searching the bottom of this sarcophagus. There doesn't appear to be any secret doors out of it. Is
Alright,
someone
so
else searching in somewhere else?
I'll search over here.
Yeah, so each one of those little red lines. So I guess you wouldn't know this, Lessons. So each of these doors here were stone slabs about 2 feet by 2 feet with a metal ring on them. These red lines right here, they also have these stone slabs set into the walls, but they're lacking that metal pull ring that was used to open up the crawling corridors.
Oh,
So in order to get into any of these, you'd have to smash into them and break these 2 foot by 2 foot slabs.
is there any
Unless
way?
one of these rooms or unless one of these slabs is like a secret door, and you could be searching them for any sort of like hidden,
I'm gonna
opening.
do that. Yeah, catch or something.
Yeah.
So, search.
Yeah, roll a scrutiny check.
Scrutiny. Oh,
You're great at this. You're giving it a great once over. You search through these stone slabs. None of them seem to have any secret give or none of them seem to have any latches that would allow them to be opened from anywhere inside this chamber.
that was a great roll.
Just to get my mental imagery back up and running. What were you doing when you were digging and you set this thing off?
I was down at the bottom, and I was breaking each of the magical seals in order.
Okay, and the sound came from beneath the circle, or?
The sound did come from beneath the circle, and it seemed to happen as soon as you lost all that emotional barrage.
You guys remember the end of, what was the Nicolas Cage movie where he's a treasure hunter guy?
National Treasure?
National Treasure. You remember the end where the flame just travels down, lights all the torches and everything? That's all I'm imagining the trap beneath us is. It's just some sort of automated flint and tinder, and just lit a trough of fire back the way we came. Trapezium here.
So what, it'll burn itself out?
No, not for a long time. We will have lost all the oxygen in here before that happens, so. I guess the hope then is that the fire will put itself out, and that we can somehow hold our breaths long enough. Don't bet.
Well, it has to be a finite supply of oil, if anything. It should burn out in a few minutes.
You have no idea about that.
So if I want to try
There'll be
to
a whole reservoir
smash
down there.
some of these slabs over here, what do I need to do?
You would have to. Do you have any sort of bludgeoning weapon to smash it open with?
I don't believe.
Preferably like a war hammer would probably be the best, but I'm sure
Yeah.
like a mace or a flail would also work.
No,
I have a
I
club.
don't have that.
So as you guys are looking around and trying to think what you could do to smash these things open, or in Orbital, you're doing the search around each one of these each one of these slabs, you guys hear a, and right near the entrance of the tunnel at the ground level, the floor starts burning.
That's not good.
Well, I'm glad we all made proteges, is all I'm saying.
Oh, shit, I didn't make one.
Didn't.
Let's spend all that time on the backstory, did you? That's a real shame.
All right, so
And
we got to work.
it's starting to spread rather quickly around the room.
I have a couple quick mechanical questions for you, Eli.
Yeah.
First off, if I were to run through fire, how much damage would I be typically taking a second?
A second, you would probably take 1 point of damage every. Or it would depend on the size of the flame. That'd be the first thing. And I would say you'd probably take for this fire, at the fire it's currently at in this other room, you'd take 1 point of fire damage every 2 seconds, and then your clothing would start on fire.
Alright, so the fact that I'm wearing robes doesn't mitigate anything?
Well, it wouldn't mitigate anything, but they would catch on fire.
What if I took them off, peed on them first, and then put them back on?
That's a lot of
I
pee.
would.
Yeah,
would
but I
give
mean,
you-
that's piss and, like, any, like, lion skin or whatever I have.
Have
Not
a
lion
water
skin,
skin.
water skin, yeah.
Yeah, I would give you a reduction to the damage you'd take.
Alright, so yeah, Kramikos is off in a corner, took the robe off, pissing on it.
All right. So he is peeing on his clothing while this fire is spreading across rather rapidly across the entire floor of this chamber. What would you like to do?
How
I
long,
think
does
I'm
it,
gonna jump in the hole. That's the only place that I can go.
how long does it take me, by the way, to cover my clothes and piss?
Oh
Oh man,
good question.
What's your die roll modifier for that?
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to.
Let me see. Let me just look. Let me just check the player's handbook. Covering your clothing in piss. Oh yeah, page 273.
I'll
What if you're dehydrated? You're not gonna pee a lot.
Good
I've been
question.
eating well.
You haven't said.
I can't do this. Oh my god.
I'd say it would probably take a good. You're under pressure. This is a good. We're learning a lot about Karamikos. Is he under? Is he nervous that other people are watching, or?
He can't see them. He doesn't give a shit.
So they. I'd say probably 30 seconds or so
Sure.
to take it off, piss on it, and toss it back on.
Tell me when 30 seconds have passed.
I've never really tried to. Yeah, never mind.
I-
So Orbital is jumping into the sarcophagus. What is Werlin and Eric doing?
I'm already in it, so I'm calling out to Eric to say, Eric, get down here. You and Orbital can move the close the sarcophagus, and we can maybe try to hold up in here.
Okay. What's above me? Can I look at what's above me?
Yeah, it looks like a pretty solid ceiling. You're seeing where the trap, the large stone slab fell, and so there is a hole in the ceiling where it doesn't look like it's super deep. It doesn't look like it goes all the way to the ground, but you're seeing kind of a hole there where the slab fell.
Okay.
And it looks like there's a small hole right above the tunnel entrance. In the ceiling, maybe only about yay big.
So I could fit my hand through it, but I couldn't fit myself through it. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna tell Karamikos to quit monkeying around and get in the hole, and I'm gonna pull the sarcophagus lid over us.
Has it been
Hey,
30
piss
seconds
boy.
yet?
Piss boy.
It has been
Get
about
over
30 seconds. The fire spread. It's covering about 50% of the room at this point.
Put my robes back on and I'm making a run for it.
All right. So Eric, you jump in. The three of you are squeezed tight inside this sarcophagus. None of you have claustrophobia, do you?
Nope.
Nope.
That's probably good. And you pull the sarcophagus lid over on top of you. We'll get all three of you squeezed in there. And oh, I guess they're
Yeah, you're gonna send it back. You want to use send it back on the tokens.
yeah. Or I send a front on the.
Well, I
sarcophagus.
figured since you had it behind everything, it would just be easier to click 3 of the tokens in front.
I had it on the map layer, so.
Oh yeah, that too.
Just move it to the token layer. So, Karamikos, you're wet, you're a little damp, and you see them pulling the sarcophagus over them, and you're starting to move through the fire.
Are you moving towards us, or are you running the other way?
I'm running out. I'm getting out of here.
All right.
All right, so you start. You run through the little bit of fire here. And let's see, there's...
Look, the more the fire spreads,
crawl?
the less of a chance I have to get out of here alive.
Yep.
You guys
So
might be
what is your
on to
crawl
something,
speed?
but you might not. Now, what'd you say?
Yeah.
What is your crawl speed? It's sorry, I know your crawl speed. Your walk speed is 5 feet, so your crawl speed is 2.5. So
Ooh.
I'm going to say that because you've soaked your outfit in some liquid, it's not going to start burning when you move through the fire to first start crawling through this hole. So it's not going to be an issue until we start getting to this first chamber. And this first chamber is filled. It's just burning. It's blazing.
I mean, it
And-
takes me like 9 seconds to get to this chamber, though. And you did describe the
Yeah.
fire damage as being every other second, so...
But there's not any fire inside this tunnel here.
Oh, you said the fire was spilling out into the room that we were in.
It seemed to be coming from the floor itself.
Oh,
It didn't
okay.
come from the tunnel at all.
That's fine, then.
Weird.
It is weird. And so here, you just have to cross a gap of about 27 feet.
So about,
So you're
what,
gonna
11
move-
seconds?
In piss.
Well, you don't have to. Are you crawling through this chamber?
Oh, yeah, that's right. 5 feet per second, so... So about
I mean,
5
you
to
could.
6
If you
seconds.
want to, you could army crawl.
So about 6
across
seconds
the,
to get into the other side, which means 3 turns of fire damage.
So I'm going to say that instead of the 1 every 2, we're going to say 1 every 3. And so you're going to take 2 points of fire damage. But your robes are now on fire.
It's fine. They're still mitigating a little bit, right?
Yes, you will. 15 divided by 2.5. So it's going to take you 6 seconds. So I'm going to say it's your robe started catching on fire as you ran through this room. It's going to take you 6 seconds to crawl through this tunnel.
Right, but
while
you said
your
the fire's
robes are
not in the
ablaze.
tunnel, though.
No, but your robes are now ablaze.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, I guess I can't strip them off while I'm crawling. Or could I?
Well, you could also do some other things while you're crawling.
Rolling, you mean?
Yeah,
Just
you could
roll back and forth.
yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Stop, drop, and roll. Come on.
I'm already stopped and dropped.
So now you just
I'm
roll.
on a roll, yeah.
So you just start rolling around, and you manage to put out the fire, and then you can crawl out to safety. The spear is still pointing out. You know, you can avoid that when you jump down, and you're out, Karamikos. So you're out, Karamikos, and Finn's out there. She probably asks you what's going on, and can you use echolocation to see fire?
Well, fire is
Just like
putting
a
out
general-
sounds, yeah. Fire has a crackling
Yeah.
and it has a... Yeah, I'd imagine so.